Hi, I'm Dan Nelson. Thanks for joining me for another free art lesson. Having covered in previous sessions different parts of the face and how the face holds together, it's time to do the nose. The nose is challenging, not nearly as challenging as the eye, but it's especially challenging for children because being used to drawing things in simple outline form, there's nothing to draw. If you view the nose from the front, now from the side, of course, there's very prominent the profile. But how do you draw a nose from the front? Let me just give you for the third grader in your house or inside you, a very simple trick for drawing a nose from the front. Begin by drawing what I'll call a large curve, like that. At each end, add a small, tiny little curve, and then outside that, add two medium curves. And that will do for a nose from the front. That's just pretty simple. And again, I should add that this is very decidedly, well, fairly decidedly a Caucasian nose. If it were an African nose, typically the nostrils would be wider and flared more toward the front. But we'll let it go at that for now. Let's talk about the structure of the nose a little bit more. Viewed from the front, again, the reason there's not much to draw is because there's no sharp line demarcating the sides of the nose when viewed from the front. In fact, most of the time when I'm doing a fairly easy, sketchy drawing, I will not include a line like this at all. If it's kind of drawing that has shading in it, then of course you can indicate the presence of that line by shading. But most of the time I don't. It's kind of what I would call the Dick Tracy look, with that sharp ridge down the front. But it is good to understand how the nose is constructed if you want to draw it. Let's start with the view from the front. There's the bridge of the nose, which you might envision as a wedge shape? I'm not sure what to call that. It's not exactly a wedge. The eyes are here, the glabella is here, and this is the bridge of the nose, the part of the nose toward the top that is a bony structure. If there is going to be any line on the bridge viewed from the front, it's going to be up here in the nose section. In the bony section of the nose. When it comes down further than this, the rest of the nose is, of course, cartilage and ended by varying degrees and many varying degrees of a rounded, soft tissue. Let me illustrate this from the side. The arch of the nose, which can have several different shapes and sizes. Very often there's a prominence. Now there's not on my nose, so I'm a bad example, but there's often, or I have very little, there's often a prominence on the nose from the side, right there, and it's typically where the skeleton ends, where the bony part of the nose ends right there, and then when it progresses into the cartilage part of the nose, it dips back down. So from the side, a nose can look something like this. Here's a general rule. The difference between men and women. It sounds so funny, it almost sounds sexist, but it's literally true if you want to be an artist. If you're drawing a face in profile, for instance, if that is a man, do you know how to turn it into a woman? Simply come here and smooth out all the angles, and it's now a woman. Women are softer than men. Go figure. Like I said, it sounds sexist, but if you want to be an artist, it's literally true. So simply smooth out all those curves, and it's now a woman. So this is, I would say, a more typically a man's nose. A woman's nose is softer than that. The angles are smoothed out somewhat. Let me see. How else to view a nose? Just, of course, drawing one in profile or drawing one head-on is one issue. Most of the time, you're going to want to be able to draw a nose that's at a 3/4 angle. So again, you're going to have to be able to visualize in three-dimensional space. It doesn't do much good to just be able to draw it from the side or just from the front. You need to be able to see it in 3 dimensions. So here again, if you can visualize this bony part of the nose as that ridge, and then it expands out into a circle with a wedge shape. Now this is a wedge shape on each side of the nostril. Let me draw that again from the front. The bony part at the top, softening out into a bulbous end. Some of us are more bulbous than others, of course. And then with a wedge on either side of that. Any variation of this will do for getting close to a nose. After that, it's up to you to look carefully at the person you're drawing and copy their nose. That's it. Hope to see you again. Thanks. Bye.